Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be talking about the Kansas City Chiefs and how they completely rebuilt their offensive line in one offseason and what this means for the Super Bowl hopes this season and in the near future. Before I hop into the content of today's video, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and drop a like on the video if you guys do enjoy it. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We're around 17 away while I'm recording this video. So if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. And with all that being said, let's hop into the video about the Chiefs and their new revamped offensive line. The Kansas City Chiefs offensive line in Super Bowl 55 was one of the worst we've really ever seen perform in the Super Bowl. Mahomes ran for his life the entire game and never really had a chance to settle in and dissect defenses like he's done so much since entering the league. The Chiefs are missing 4 offensive linemen, and when you're missing 4 starters in any position group, it's not going to look well for you, and that's exactly what happened in the Super Bowl, and the Bucs exploited the Chiefs offensive line. They're missing right guard Laurent Duvernay, who opted out before the season because of COVID-19. They're also missing left guard Kelechi Osemele, and of course you can't forget about their 2 stud tackles that were playing for them last year, Mitchell Schwartz and Eric Fisher, who were both lost due to injuries. So the Chiefs were missing 4 out of the 5 starters on their offensive line, and as we saw from the game, Patrick Mahomes didn't stand a chance. Mahomes was actually only sacked 3 times and lost a total of 27 yards, but if you watched the game, you knew that Mahomes was under fire the entire night and had no time to find any sort of receiver to throw the ball to and get it to him in an efficient way. According to ESPN Stats and Info, no quarterback in NFL history had ever been pressured as much as Patrick Mahomes did in Super Bowl 55, and that just shows how bad the offensive line was up front and the issues that the Chiefs dealt with in the Super Bowl and even throughout, the playoffs. The Tampa Bay Bucs were a fantastic team and ran through pretty much everybody in the playoffs, but I'm at the mindset if the Chiefs had their real starting offensive line, the game would have been a lot better than the 31-9 blowout which it was this past year. I also think that there's a chance that these 2 teams could be meeting up again in Super Bowl 56 if the Chiefs offensive line, newly assembled, can perform well. And if both teams stay healthy, I think they're both the best teams in their respective conferences, and we're going to have to see how this season plays out and if they can have a rematch in the Super Bowl, one last run for Tom Brady versus Patrick Mahomes. But how did the Chiefs revamp their offensive line in one offseason? Well, we're going to go over their acquisitions and how crazy it is to go from a weakness to a strength in only a matter of months. Andy Reid and Brett Veach deserve a lot of credit for what they did this offseason to completely reconstruct their offensive line. I know Patrick Mahomes is going to be very happy that they protected their $500 million investment. The Chiefs started off the offseason with giving Joe Thuney a 5-year, $80 million contract, and he's a very versatile player. He can play center, left guard, right guard, or either of the tackle positions. So if there's any injuries on the Chiefs offensive line, Joe Thuney can pretty much step in anywhere and be a solid and Pro Bowl caliber player at any position. Kyle Long came out of retirement and they signed him back as well. He is 33 years old and hasn't played in a little bit. When he played for the Bears, he was one of the best guards in the league, and if he can just carry over a little bit of that and be an average guard, that's a steal for the Chiefs because they got him for $1 million. And those are really the first 2 big signings that the Chiefs did on their offensive line, but they were not even close to being done yet revamping their offensive line. They also went out and got Austin Blythe from the Rams, who's also a really solid center. He's going to plug in there and most likely be starting week 1 for them at the center spot. The Chiefs made their biggest trade to get Orlando Brown, who is a Pro Bowl left tackle from the Ravens. The Chiefs traded their 2021 first round pick, a 3rd rounder, a 4th rounder, and a 2022 5th round pick in exchange for Orlando Brown, a 2021 2nd round pick, and a 6th round pick. And many people thought that the Ravens could have gotten a lot more value for Orlando Brown. They did get a 1st round pick, but they did also give up a Pro Bowl player and a 2nd round pick to acquire that. So many believe that the Chiefs got a great deal here to get a stud left tackle who's going to be one of the best in the league, and of course a 2nd round pick back to even further build their team. And then in the draft, the Chiefs took Creed Humphrey, who is seen as the best center in many people's eyes. I don't know if he's going to start week 1 because they do have Austin Blythe, and of course they have some players coming back from the COVID list. So I don't know if Creed Humphrey will be thrown into the fire right away, but of course they have him as a depth piece and to develop after the 1-year contracts of Kyle Long and Austin Blythe go after next season. Creed Humphrey can fill in there and be a great center for them for a long time. It's more likely than not that the offensive line for week 1 for the Chiefs will be Orlando Brown at left tackle, Joe Thuney at left guard, Austin Blythe at center, Laurent Duvernay at right guard, and Kyle Long at right tackle. I think Duvernay and Kyle Long could actually end up switching their positions and Duvernay could be right tackle, but for right now that's the way I see it, and that is a formidable offensive line. I think that definitely has potential to be a top 10 offensive line when the season ends, but a very important thing about an offensive line is the chemistry and knowing the ins and outs of the scheme and how to work off of each other, and I think it's going to take a little bit of time for the Chiefs to actually learn. But when we get to the end of the season, I think this offensive line is really going to perform well. They do have some good depth pieces as well, just in case there's any injury. The Chiefs still have the option to bring Kelechi Osemele back to be a depth piece, and we're going to see if they do that closer to the beginning of the season. Osemele is kind of rehabbing from an injury right now, and the Chiefs don't really want to give him a contract at the moment. But as we get closer to the beginning of the season, I can definitely see him coming back as a depth piece, and that will just overall strengthen the entire ability of the offensive line. Lucas Niang also goes under the radar kind of a lot because he opted out as a rookie last year, but they drafted him in the 3rd round, and he's going to be able to contribute as well as a backup piece or even develop into a starting role either later in this season or maybe after the season when some of the vets' contracts are up. Trey Smith out of Tennessee that they also selected in the 6th round is a value pick. Trey Smith was seen as one of the best guards to come out of college until he got blood clots in his lungs, and it kind of hampered his draft stock a lot. But if he can get medically cleared and kind of work his way back to being a professional athlete, I think Trey Smith has another chance to be a good offensive lineman in the league, and for the time being, he can just be a depth piece for the Chiefs. So overall, the Chiefs are going to have 7 new players that they did not have last year to implement into their offensive line group, and that is a huge turnaround from last season of where they left off, and it's all props to the Chiefs front office for accomplishing this and making Patrick Mahomes into a very happy man with the offensive line that he now has in front of him. I think the Chiefs are going to be a very scary team again next year. Of course, they still have the best quarterback in the league in many people's eyes, and you can't forget about Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce and all the boys they have on that squad. The Chiefs are loaded, and they made the weakness of their team into a strength, and that's very scary for the rest of the NFL. I'll be very interested to see how the offensive line gels and works together, but I think with training camp and the normal offseason we're having this year, as well as some preseason games, the Chiefs offensive line should be well on its way by the time we get to the NFL regular season, and I think the Chiefs offense isn't going to miss a beat, and they're going to be going off from week 1. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and drop a like on the video if you guys did enjoy it. Let me know what you guys think of the Chiefs offensive line and how they can perform next season, and what do you expect the Chiefs as a team to do this upcoming year. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'll catch you guys next time.